here's where I have some problems. Everybody seems so smart and so talented on the internet, but they're really not that talented. They're not that smart.
True.
So, a while ago, people were up in arms about all these luxury brands, like Helveticizing everything that they do. They stripped away, like Burberry did it. A bunch of brands just moved towards very simple block sans serif typefaces. And what they're saying is, in one breath, we want funkiness, we want individualism, we want heritage, and we love the intricacies, and even if it's not legible and that easy to use and apply in many different things. So we hate these new marks. And then on the other side, we have Kia, the old logo, which is highly legible, but boring and kind of, in my opinion, ugly.
Yeah.
And we have this new form that becomes maybe beyond just a word mark, becomes an icon, which I think is wonderful.
Yeah.
Anybody with, I'm sorry to say this, I'm going to hurt a lot of people here, half a brain can figure this out. We've done tests before where they literally scramble letters and words, and you can still read it. It's because what we don't do is we're not actually looking at individual letters, we're recognizing shapes. So the people who spend a lot of money working on these things, developing their craft, they know what they're doing. Not always, but they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So everybody just relax. We want personality, but when the personality doesn't agree with the way we think, then we want it to be boring.
Yeah.
So for me, I look at the larger picture, the business model. I'm agreeing with you. If the car's a piece of crap, I don't care how good your logo is. And if the car is great, conversely, I don't care how bad your logo is. It doesn't matter because I'm not buying the car to drive the logo. Because let's face it, car companies have notoriously bad logos.
And bad cars. I mean, ugly cars.
Yeah, ugly cars too, right? So there's more sins to fight over here.
Yeah.
But here's where I think people are missing the bigger picture. And this is where I think we're going to bring it back to you in a second here. You love maybe a BMW. Most people don't even know where that symbol comes from. Can you even read it? No, because over time, like many things, you associate a unique symbol word mark, with an idea, feeling of a consistent product or service. Mercedes has a 3-pointed star. Many times people who are asked to draw it, they draw the P symbol. They didn't even know the symbol. And nobody's complaining about it. I think it's a big, bold, and smart move for Kia and companies like Kia to move away from letter forms and moving into iconography.
Mm-hmm.
So hence, I never saw it as a KN, and I could still unsee it. It doesn't bother me at all. It could be a lightning bolt for all I care. Lamborghinis is a bull. You could barely read. Ferrari's lettering is terrible from just a purely design point, but I'm not buying it for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to you and you writing something and somebody's like, well, the G isn't quite legible, James. Now they're asking you to kind of change it.
Yeah.
To move away from why they hired you in the first place is, I think what you do is you inject a lot of personality, and it's expressive, and most importantly, it's human. You could draw them Helvetica if they wanted, but what's the point?
Yeah, well, Helvetica. but the whole book,
yeah. But broken up in a weird way too,
Yeah, but the whole book is illegible. I remember early on when I first started out, I was hanging out with designers and designs. We were just getting out of school. It was design students, and we'd go to a restaurant together, and people would pick up the menu and they start talking about the typography, and I was just like, "Oh my God, shut the fuck up!" Criticizing the freaking restaurant menu because of the bad typography or the bad spacing between letters or the leading or whatever. I'm like, "Oh my God, is the burger good?" I'll take the burger, right? I try not to get into those things. I think there's always a bigger picture. There's a publisher that I work with that they're going to have their they're having their 10th anniversary this year. We've been working together for 10 years, and I've done every single one of their covers. And their covers, many of them are very close to illegible, very close to, they're hard to read. But when they're displayed 5 at a time or 10 at a time, or they're displayed at the Tate Modern in London, or they're displayed in the Museum of Modern Art, because there are other values to see. My covers say, "Be curious, pick me up." They don't say, "This is a book about a death that occurred in a lake." I'm not trying to tell you what happens. I'm just trying to say, be curious, pick me up.
Yeah. That is the job of a book cover, is it not?
Yeah. Yeah. Pick it up, you know, then you go like this, you go like this. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, then you read this bit, and then you read this bit, and then you read the table of contents, and then you go like this. Oh, dang, right? It is a whole, it's the same hierarchy that you would use when designing a poster. Something big to stop them. And then once they see the big thing, then they're going to go to the second. This is your typography lesson, right? Then they go with hierarchy. What's the next thing I can see? Oh, it's a tagline or it's 3 words. That makes me curious because it goes or doesn't go with the image. And then you come up with the uppercut because you show them the logo and it completely blows their mind. Like that came from them. Like, oh my God, that's awesome. Or I'm still really freaking curious. Like, and then you walk away and you see it 3 more times. Like I've done a number of bus shelter and subway posters in New York City. And I never wanted to be clear. Because I knew my audience was going to walk by this twice a day, 3-4 times a week. And by the 3rd or 5th or 7th, they're going to go, oh, fuck, I get it. That's awesome. Built-in timing. I don't need immediate. I want that immediate gut reaction, but I don't need immediate legibility.